Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of PMP's Den of Antiquities. Today, we're here to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean 7 Mando Edition. This is the way, arg. No, but get some space scurvy. What did you guys think of the episode, though?
Seaweed Man took a tumble. I'm happy.
Yeah, Captain goes down with the ship, man.
Yeah, and
Um,
Mandos are relocating.
yeah, I thought that was funny that they called it like. I figured they would. I guess blue they call it, like, kind of skipping towards when Carson Tava went to like the Mando like hideout. They called him Blue. They're like, "Get out of here, Blue." I guess meaning like officer. But I was like, wouldn't that make more sense to call him like Orange or something like
I
that? Because they
think
are
it
all like
might.
orange.
I think it might be more towards the color of the New Republic, which is blue.
Oh, is it the
Like,
central
well,
blue?
or at least like all of those officers always wear blue. So I'm kind
Fair.
of assuming here. Like, I don't know that for sure. I'm making up something.
I
I
mean,
think
The
about that.
fighters and the capital ships also have blue stripes instead of orange and red like the Rebellion did.
oh, do they really? Okay, I guess I'm gonna say
Yeah,
because it's like I was like, I feel like orange is pretty much a rebellion color, but maybe because it's just like the New Republic, then it's not. But hey, what's going on, Maul? Appreciate you
Well,
popping in, my
even
dude.
within the OT, you have like Red 5. Red's not really a rebel color,
yeah.
but
I just looked. Yeah, the New Republic logo is like the Rebellion logo, but like in blue.
Ah,
Well, and you see
okay.
that on some of the Rebel helmets in the OT. Some of them have just the two blue Rebel symbols on the helmet.
Yeah.
And then you have Blue Squadron in Rogue One.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Or now for the homies.
Not
Yeah.
me, not me. You guys,
Hey,
but not me.
for real.
I can almost
So
touch
close.
you now.
I can almost feel
Um,
you.
But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
really
so
cool.
we get a lot of I think we get a lot of really cool stuff in this episode. I thought the I guess I was gonna say Rebel base, but it's like more of a New Republic base now. That was kind of
Space
cool. Like,
Vietnam.
yeah, I was like literally like
Yeah.
it's like space Vietnam, and then we get the man, it kind of gave me Fallen Order vibes with the music because it was very I forget what that intro song is for Fallen Order, but the like I think they're called like the Who or the Hun that
Yeah,
do
the
it.
Who.
Mm.
Is it the Who? Yeah.
I think it's the Mongolian throat singers. Yeah, they go
Yeah,
like
but they kind of
why,
got like a
Yeah.
chick version of that, you know. And I always like it when they do that in Star Wars, man. I thought the in Solo when they're on like the barge and like they're doing like kind of like the more like sexy kind of like opera singer kind of thing.
the
I
weird
thought that was
fish guy.
yeah. I always love it when they do that stuff, but I wouldn't have called it for that scene, you know, since it's just like a
Mm.
base scene. But no, that was cool seeing they were playing like space pool, with like it looked
Yeah,
like
it was
Yeah.
like pool and shuffleboard together.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
what's that game shuffleboard? Yeah,
Like I talked about it in the Dr. Pershing episode. It felt very like
hey, what's
post
going on?
World War II, like 1950s ish, and that's exactly what I thought about with that scene was like post US in the Pacific type base. Like, and what I like is the blue and the orange jumpsuits together. Now we're starting to see more of that transition, like you guys talked about. We're becoming the New Republic, but
Yeah.
and then I
I'm,
guess we're
I'm,
going to leave the elephant in the room on what we saw there.
Well, that's what I was gonna bring up next is Zeb, man. Seeing Zeb. Because I didn't
I'm
know that they had said that in the credits. When you said that, I was like, "Oh yeah." I mean, it sounded like him, and I'm pretty sure the
which
guy that voice acted him
yeah.
did the mocap
Steve
for him
Bloom.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I met Steve Bloom in person at Fan Expo, and being a fan of all of the work he's done, voice acting characters. He has a Guinness World Record, by the way, of like most cartoon characters and multimedia franchise characters out there. He was I don't know if you guys played COD Zombies, but he plays Tank Dempsey
Oh,
in
okay.
that, all the way from World at War, right?
Back in the
So,
Disney.
no, so yeah, but I immediately noticed his voice, and I was like, dude, if this is not him, that's a disgrace because it's just so similar. And first live action version of that species, right?
Yeah.
Well,
So
kinda.
They are in a
I
new
mean, we did
hope.
get
Kinda.
Georgia Paul, which is pretty much
that's
live
not
action
live
sort of.
action though. That's in a game. This is like acting in a scene with humans on
Yeah.
screen.
No, obviously, I mean, this is like
Generated.
TV show live action with people, but like basic model at least, or the look we knew.
Dude, I was so happy to see Zeb because I'm a pretty big Rebels fan, but at the same time, it made me infinitely sad for Obi-Wan because with the Grand Inquisitor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm just like
Oh,
I'm like
God.
you couldn't have put that money and done like because he didn't look
Right.
bad in Obi-Wan. Like and this isn't an Obi-Wan roundtable, so I'll just kind of leave it there. But like I was like, y'all could have given the CG team a little bit of money and made him
Well-
like an actual one, like Revenge of the Sith, and it would have been so
Yeah.
much cooler, you know? Because
I
they can.
watched this episode with my wife, and we got to that point, and I saw him, and I was like, "That's Zeb. Like that's got to be Zeb." But right afterwards, we went and we jumped into episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, because she hadn't watched that one yet. So we jumped into that, and the entire movie, I'm sitting there like, I just want to go back to the credits of that. Like, I knew that you were going to talk about it. I was like, that has to be Zeb. Like, they have to have the voice actor in there for sure. And sure enough, I'm like watching it, Zeb, and I was like, no way. I almost screenshotted it and sent it in the spoilers chat, but I was like, no, I don't need a screenshot of that. We'll just talk about it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, for like 2 hours, I just sat there like, I just want to look this up right now. This is blowing my mind.
Dude, the Rise of would you say the Rise of Skywalker, the Last Jedi?
Yeah, whatever the last one is, episode 9,
The Rise of
whatever it
Skywalker.
was.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Grant really said the Rise of Skywalker was so good for 2 hours. I was thinking about the last Star Wars thing I saw.
Yeah, I was just imagining, they were like watching it and like, Grant, why are you so tense? Oh, sorry. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
no,
He's got all
Yeah.
like the numbers and algorithms like going.
Yeah,
down,
that
trickling
was
down.
exactly me the entire time. Like, how can I find this out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it was because I remember when in the group chat you were like, "Dude, I did the research, bro." You're like, "I did
Yeah.
the research for you."
I knew
You're
that the
good.
question was going to come up, and I was like, I had to know for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
Disney Plus does that stupid thing with the credits where you just can't quite scroll to see the very end, right?
Yeah.
Because it always
Yeah.
like shrinks the screen down, which is
Yeah,
annoying.
if you click
But
on
then-
it again, then you can like see it full again.
That's
but
what I had
yeah,
to do.
Well, Steve
Yeah.
Bloom and Star Wars officially are like, yeah, this is Zeb.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
and
They know.
and like at the same table, like in the like sort of further away shot, we got good old Dave Filoni and Deborah
Yeah.
Chow and someone else,
Rick.
right?
His name
Something
is
I cannot pronounce his name.
Rick
Right.
Famioa.
I think.
Yes, there we go. That, but yeah, they're the directors of the other episodes and stuff like that. Or,
Yeah.
Deborah Chow did Kenobi, but she did Mando
Yeah.
before that. I think she did I want to say she did the prison where they're breaking out the Twi'lek brother. I want to say she did those episodes, but I could be wrong. That could be Rick. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. But
Yeah, I don't remember.
dude, honestly, you know what would have been cool though? I'd love seeing all those, and like I'm perfectly fine. But seeing like I don't know, like maybe they everything went to Zeb, but like seeing like a de-aged like Wedge Antilles or something like that, you know, sitting like talking to the other pilots or something. Because in the Heir to the Empire and stuff like that, he's like he has a good prominent role in that. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
Where he's like
well,
he's basically
there
like
he's literally like the squadron leader.
Yeah.
That's literally like leading the first attacks, even against like Thrawn. So yeah, you could say he has a leading role.
yeah. So it was kind of cool. Well, it's just like I meant like he's a leading role, but it's like a small. He's kind of in the background in the books, but it's still really cool.
This makes so much sense. Wedge is Sabayoth.
It all connects.
You get the Star Wars fans like, actually no, he's not in it.
I also like how when Karga goes to like they're like in the lava flats. I was like looking at that scene, watching it like before this this roundtable, and the majority of the people are actually aliens. They're not even like regular humans, which I thought was kind of cool. That because I feel like it's always the opposite in most Star Wars shows, where it's like a whole bunch of human beings with like a sprinkle of like, you know, like a.
One
Why
or two
am I
little
blanking?
aliens
Yeah,
or whatever.
I'm like I was trying to think of Admiral Akbar's
Mon Calamari.
non-calamari.
Yeah.
I was like blank. I'm like my
Oh,
mind
yeah.
is not here tonight. But yeah, you see like all these like Twi'leks and all these little like droids and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of cool that they've really been. You can tell that there's a bigger budget for Mando than most of the other shows.
Yeah.
which-
Yes.
it's unfortunate,
It's
but
Star
too.
Wars' baby.
But it's still cool to see. You know, it's still cool to see. We get all that variety. You know.
Yeah. Well,
What was
that's what
cool?
makes it feel Star Wars. Like Mando has been really good, I think, with especially having those OG, original trilogy like species. All your kind of species that you saw like in the Cantina or and on Mos Eisley, obviously primarily.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's like one of the few flaws that like I have, like for instance with Andor or like
Dude, there's
meanwhile
like
Andor
none
is
in
a
Andor.
fantastic show, but like there are mainly original like aliens that you've never seen before. Like they were originally created for the
Mhm.
show. They're like close to no original trilogy species or Clone Wars species even. So yeah, I mean, Mando has been really good with tying that all together, and it really feels immersive, as you said, like seeing all those kinds of different species.
Heck
One of
yeah,
my
dude.
favorite things about them going to the lava flats was we've watched Grief Karga's build up to Grand Magistrate Grief Karga, his clothes and everything, and we've watched, we've had every season that like build up of uh of Navarro, and then now all of a sudden Navarro's destroyed. He's back to like regular
I
clothes
was just
on
gonna
the
say he
on the
lost his
flats.
cape.
Yeah, he lost the
Yeah.
cape. He lost the cape droids.
Not
Like,
the cape.
yeah, I
The
know.
cape's probably worth something. You probably should have left that on. You could have sold
Yeah.
it.
But I just thought that was interesting. Like they did an entire costume change in order to show that like destruction. Because I
Yeah.
was just watching it again earlier.
Back to square one.
Yeah,
No, he should have kept the cape and just had like it like at the very end when they like run up on him, like the pirates run up on him because they're pushing him out of town. I should have just been like him with like his crowd behind him and like his cape like majestically like flowing in the wind, be like, "Your time's up, partner.
yeah.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us, boy."
Yeah.
I got that I got that vibe when seeing Grievous in 2003 Clone Wars when he's on Dantooine and he's like, "Run, Jedi, run! You have
Mm.
only prolonged the inevitable." And his like
Yeah, he's got
ridden cape is like floating in the
Yeah.
wind.
Heck yeah.
Super cool.
I also like the when what Pirate King Gorian Shard was like calling through the comm, and kind of that whole conversation, how it went, like with Grieve kind of trying to, well, as then Gorian Shard exposed him on, trying to bluff his way out of it. But yeah, hey, that's when the neutrality kind of bites in the ass.
Dude, he folded
Because-
quick. He was like, "I don't want any new
Yeah.
Republic help." Next episode, Republic help.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
um,
I was honestly
Seaweed-
surprised he
sea-
didn't ask for Mando first, but I guess to show us, which is also something we should talk about, the New Republic not helping.
I love that personally.
Yeah.
This makes sense for the world though because like this is small arms. They're not gonna worry about just some random pirates.
Yeah.
They're gonna look for the actively help the bigger threats like preventing a new empire from rising and all the
Right.
little remnants.
well,
of that.
I think it also shows
bad
that
job
the
with that.
Yeah, I think it also shows that limited resources of the New Republic.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
we have people that said that they're going to swear to us already. These people haven't sworn to us. Like, we really can't do much about that. I love the bureaucracy of that
Yeah.
whole scene.
And they're
I
and they're
personally,
stupid with those little resources too because what is it? Pershing was like, "Hey, we can use this information as like our benefit." No, destroy it.
Yeah.
Destroy it.
Yeah, we talked
I
about that in the
personally-
Pershing one too.
don't think they have limited resources because in the Dr. Pershing episode, we saw that they were first of all like kind of recycling the Empire fleet, but they were also doing the same to the Rebellion fleet. Like they were
Yeah.
straight up
Yeah.
taking it all apart. Like you have the resources of
Demilitarization,
the
yeah.
World Republic, the Empire, and all of that, but you decided to take that away in the hope to make a more Pacific world. But you know that the
Yeah.
war's still going on across the galaxy.
Yeah, but they just
Yeah.
don't believe that the war is going on. They're like, "Oh, we defeated
Yeah.
we defeated the big bad. Like we're good now. We don't need everything." So
Well, that kind of parallels to real life too. Like, people hear on the news, "Oh, shooting happened here." That really sucks. I really feel for those people, but they're sitting there happy as long as
Yeah.
it doesn't immediately affect them, right?
Well,
If it's not on
Yeah.
their planet, their
To that
personal
point,
life.
going back to the Pershing episode, like the guy was like, "Oh, he's like the New Republic, the Empire." He's like, "I can't keep track of who's in charge. Like those like rich kind of like Coruscant people Like they
Mm.
they don't care who's in power. They don't care as long as they can keep their money going and stuff like that. And they,
Right.
I feel like that's a lot of people in the galaxy. It's probably not just Coruscant.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Well,
as
and that's
long as I
another
can make
thing
my money, I don't care.
another thing that I would give that episode. I wasn't really a big fan of that episode, but showing that how you can be this high-ranking Imperial cloning person to just okay, now you're one of the low-ranking like everyone else was
Yeah.
realistic actually.
What,
Yeah, they
what
had
I
like a
also
file pusher.
what I also like about this, like sort of where this is all going with the New Republic, it kind of also shows how this kind of logic. I think especially on Coruscant, just because like the government may change on Coruscant, but I feel like the people don't really. Like for instance, senators, they don't change; they always are just out for
They're always
themselves.
stupid. Yeah, they're stupid.
Yeah,
the
like
whole
and
time.
it's exactly what JT said with like they don't care as long as like no one's attacking Coruscant,
Yeah.
which we've seen like already. You know, I mean that's the reason why at the end, Palpatine ordered Grievous to attack Coruscant because that would push all those other people that were like, all right, maybe let's end the war slowly, then to be like, oh no, they're dangerous, more clones, war.
Yeah. Vulture droids. What is Mace Windu? He's
Give the
riding
Chancellor
that
all the
vulture
powers
droid.
that he needs, like. So
It
like,
was kind of a shame that that was really restricted to just being in the 2003 cartoon, because that's a pretty important pivotal moment that branches Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith butts up right against it.
dude,
Right.
Labyrinth
But-
of Evil, like
Yep.
fleshes that whole Coruscant battle out in such detail, like that, like an adaptation in on screen would be glorious, like in that detail.
Yeah, and as well as hearing about it in the prequels,
Max, you're muted.
how these what was it, the senators of Naboo and stuff like that, they're like the Trade Federation, they're attacking Naboo. No one cares. Chancellor over him, he's a scumbag.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him. You know?
Yeah, no, it would be cool to see that in Clone. If we got that, and like, I feel like we could still get some Clone Wars stuff. They just need to bring back the Clone Wars show.
I
Yeah,
feel like
but
the senators didn't even vote for the Chancellor Palpatine because he was smart. I just thought, they were like, oh, this is Ian McDermott. His voice is smooth. He's right. So, checkmate.
But kind of moving back though, like I'm wondering if they're going to go in a similar direction because in Heir to the Empire Until Last Command, kind of the logic that Thrawn was following, which a lot of Imperials didn't agree with. A lot of Imperials were like, as soon as they were like half decently, sized with their fleet, they were like, all right, let's attack Coruscant, and he was like, no, like we're not doing that until the very end.
Yeah.
Like, because that's just a move where that could re-enlight the fire inside any sort of rebel/New Republic sympathizers with military. Like wait until they've demilitarized themselves so much that there's just simply nothing they can do once something happens.
It's like a
So
political
I feel like that's
stealth
where
mission.
they're going, sort of.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I like about what's his name, Carson Teva, the New Republic pilot. Like he's like trying to be like, hello, like wake up, like there's something happening. He's like, I don't know what it is, but there's like, he keeps saying it like every episode. He's like, I can't prove it, but there's something stirring in the galaxy. So what did
he
you
gives
guys?
me some real Chippendale Rescue Ranger vibes. With
Yeah.
his jacket, he's going around investigating all this stuff. Exact vibes that I get with him.
Honestly, he's like Wedge Antilles. I feel like he's like the replacement for like Wedge, which is awesome because like I love Carson Teva. I think they're using him like an appropriate amount in the shows, and like I like that actor. He's a pretty cool guy. But yeah. So when they're doing the we get kind of two things that I thought was interesting when they're talking. Once like Carson Teva comes and was like, "Hey man, they need help. You can help them because we can't," I thought it was funny that Mando's like, "Hey, I have the talking." He was like saying some stuff, and everybody's like getting rowdy, and he's like, "Hey, talking stick," which is just the
Talking
armorer's like hammer, which I thought was really cool. And then Paz, because I was like, "Oh man, here he comes." He's gonna start crapping on
I
Ben,
loved that.
and he was just like,
Oh, yeah.
"Because we are warriors,
He
we
made
need
it
to
seem
fight."
Because
that
we're
way, yeah.
Mandalorians.
And that's some nice character building there too, because even in the very beginning when they first liberated Navarro, that was kind of a mutual respect thing. Like him flying outside the ship with the jetpack, like salute, and then he branches off, does his own thing. dueling Din and having somewhat of a grudge just because he happened to stumble across the Darksaber. He doesn't feel he's worthy. But I think since Din keeps making it out of these fights and he's making such big plays like this, there's more of a, okay, I'm gonna step off my ego. My bravado is here now. You are, you're a good guy. So yeah, it was cool to see them, like him stand up for Din Djarin.
Well, and I like that it was less about Din, like minor point. Hey, he helped save my son, but the bigger thing there was like we are that warrior culture. Like, why should we not go help these people?
Yeah.
And this is the guy that is the reason why we should be doing what we're doing too. So,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because
also,
this is the
like,
way.
for a purpose.
Yeah, this is the way.
This is the way.
Do you like how they completely shut up when he said that too? He's like, "This is the way," and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this is the way."
Like you're right.
Yeah.
I also think it's funny how they respect much more the talking stick than the dark saber itself. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
only comes out for beheadings. That's a special
Yeah.
occasion. It's like a celebratory drink.
Yeah, it's a ritual item. You
Well,
know, that's it.
I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I feel like the Darksaber, like that clan doesn't care about the Darksaber. Like I feel like
I
Din's
think
clan
so too. I think that's
doesn't.
kind of the point of the Children of the Watch. They kind of like concentrate on like their sort of belief system instead of an artifact that leads them. It's like they're concentrating on the way,
Take off your helmet,
to
cool.
unite
Cool.
them. Yeah,
I'll go back to
and I
what I
mean the
said.
other Mandalorians follow the Darksaber.
I'll go back to what I said a couple watch parties ago. I was like, this goes right to Bo-Katan, right? She doesn't necessarily even want the weapon itself for like, oh, this is the weapon, this is the one. It has the weight behind it. She wants just the respect that comes with having the weapon because she tried to lead the armies. They didn't, follow her the way they should have because of their view on that. But she necessarily doesn't want to win it in combat just to have that. She wants the respect that comes with controlling that army of sick Mandalorians. So
Yeah.
Well, with Zeb's cameo, do you guys think we're gonna get any more like Rebels characters, and two, now that they did include that, do you guys think we're gonna get Finn Rao from Rebels? Because he's a Mando, and like he was a pretty big Mando in the show.
well, it's guaranteed that we are going to get more Rebels because last Celebration, they literally had the actress that's going to play Sabine walk up on stage with Rosario Dawson.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Sabine
But I
is
think
definitely confirmed.
I think that's more confirmed for Ahsoka. I'm really hoping. Here's my projection, right? Here's my projection for the next 3 episodes. I think that we're going to have Fenn Rau. I think that we're going to have Sabine. And we already know that I think Bo-Katan's going to go out now because we end the episode with that. She's going to go out. She's going to find her other Mandalorians. They're going to be, I think Fenn Rau is going to be one of the ones that's in there. And I think that Sabine Wren is going to be a portion of that. We saw at the end of the episode, hey, Mandalorians broke him out. I think that there's going to be some link to Ahsoka. We have yet to see a show at this point that does not like end with some type of link to something else. Ahsoka's like one of the next shows coming out, isn't it? Like I think that with seeing Zeb, I think that we're going to see some type of connection. Like in my opinion, there has to be something more there.
Dude,
just like how we've seen Ahsoka in the other ones.
The last thing I would expect to see in Andor was a Reiko Hardeen Boba prototype helmet fused with a Starkiller, Lord Starkiller helmet in the background. Like, that's the last thing I would expect. So I think it's very possible to get something along the lines of that.
Now, one thing that I'm kind of wondering, and I mean, we're a bit skipping around, but with the armorer saying that it's time for all Mandalorians to unite, I wonder, and I feel like this is more of a long shot than any of the other stuff, but I mean, Din knows literally by seeing the chain code that Boba showed him, that Boba has some rich history that goes far back. So I wonder if he's going to be like, hey man, like we're kind of, reuniting the gang, so to speak. You like, I mean, I know your pops was one of the real homies. So like, I mean, obviously this is more wishful thinking because I want to see him, but
yeah, dude, we need to get Boba in this season.
If
Well, we're already
we see
a good chunk of the way
Boba,
through.
he better do some cool like comic book stuff that he does in the EU, man.
Yeah.
I want to see him flying around.
Mm.
And the Book of Boba Fett, one of my favorite shots from that show that I can take away that looks like an actual comic book thing that he would do is when him and Din come out of that bar and they go crisscrossing in the air like actual dog fight in the air.
That and that
pretty
knee
awesome.
move that he does, where he's like, and he like has his knee up,
Not
he's
a
knee
fan of the
rocket.
knee move.
Oh,
It
his
was cool in
introduction in Mando,
Mandalorian,
too.
but not in
Yeah.
Book of Boba.
Yeah,
Another
in the
thing,
Mandalorian
too,
when he
is-
smacks that trooper on the head.
I'm kind of like we've talked about it in other podcasts and stuff. Is one of the main enemies for Ahsoka might be Thrawn, right? Like that's kind of what we're all hoping. So part of me is hoping that this breakout of Moff Gideon could be the lead into Thrawn, like Thrawn breaking him out. I think we've talked about that before in this. But what I'm kind of hoping to see, I don't want to, but I also want to, is some super commandos. We know that super commandos were Mandalorians. We know that they were linked to the Empire. We know that some type of Mandalorian broke out Moff Gideon. I'm kind of hoping that we see like a sect of super commandos just because we can.
Now, do you guys think that Commandos broke Gideon out, or do you think they're being framed?
I'm hoping they bring them out.
Gideon's
I want
got
to see Mando
connections,
on Mando
man.
violence.
I
Gideon's
find
got
that
that'd be
whole
cool.
thing to be highly fascinating in general, though. Like whatever it is, like the whole setup is very interesting, and it just goes to show how incompetent the New Republic is. Like they don't even know that he's missing. You know, like
Yeah.
they
Or
literally
maybe they
don't
do and they
even
want to keep
know
it hush
pretend
hush.
that- yeah.
Yeah, true.
Or that, which I mean, we now literally confirmingly pretty much know that, like, I mean that ex Imperial chick, well, pretty much still Imperial chick. I mean, she's obviously playing them.
Yeah.
She's
Or-
bad.
yeah, I
She's
wonder
bad.
if they have like so many like Imperial, like pro-Imperial, like New Republic officers that they could just sort of like, oh yeah, no, let's swipe that information aside. You know that. Let's keep that to us.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the log reports or something like that, at like the ship or something.
I wonder
like
if
that.
something is going to happen to Santeca.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm kind of with Gran on that. I want more like Mando versus Mando. So I kind of do hope the Mandos broke him out. But because like I know, what is his name? I'm blanking on his name. The Mandalorian.
Gar Saxon.
Gar Saxon. He's dead, unfortunately, so he can't come back. But I don't know.
No
Maybe
one's
like
ever really gone.
No. We all need to stop saying that all the time. You're just, you're summoning the devil. It's not good. Not
Well,
good.
hey, Ming Now Wen survived a blast to the stomach. He can survive what he got shot in the chest. He's got this.
Dude, I'm
Rebel got
Uh,
stabbed into the lightsaber. Nobody dies. Star Wars
so
weapons are just
tired
weak.
of
That's
that.
the
Yeah,
that's the
Qui-Gon
message for
Jinn's
it.
still alive, obviously. We all know that. Like, duh, there's no way he could be dead.
Qui-Gon is
Hey,
crying in
midichlorians.
pain right now.
I am honestly
Midichlorians.
so tired of that, bringing characters back. Because it
Yeah.
takes away the weight of why
Yeah.
they would get shot. There's no
Bro,
stakes.
Tech's not even gone, bro. Tech's gonna come back too. He's
Tech's
gonna be.
the lead
he's gonna be
project of
RoboCop.
Hemlock's Trooper program. That's gonna be the start of the Death Troopers.
You're
All
gonna,
right,
We're gonna
let's-
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're getting
Well-
derailed.
What I was just going to say, like, we don't even need, like, something as extreme as the Mandalorians, as like a clear enemy. Like, I'm more interested, honestly, in just seeing like Bo-Katan's like ex Night Owls just like encountering the Children of the Watch, because I feel like the Night Owls more than the other guys will be like, oh, those are those weirdos, like.
Well, I was gonna say because
that alone is gonna be like, there's gonna be some sparks in the air when those two parties meet.
Mandalorians are still Death Watch. They just had a schism because they believed, someone like Maul could come in and rule Mandalore. So I believe, it was with something about Din Djarin having the Darksaber and suddenly coming in from the living waters. He's this guy that's seen it all. There's got to be a group of Mandalorians out there that see that and be like, yeah, not buying it. And then they clash. Right?
I'm real interested to see. So I noticed during this fight scene, right? Because like you don't really see it too much in any of the other scenes, but when they're actually like clearing out the city, now that we've brought up Death Watch, we see that Death Watch symbol on so many shoulder pads of the Children of the Watch. So
Okay.
so I'm interested to see if there's going to be a mashup. Like, I think Bo-Katan again is going to be that one that brings everyone together. I think she's going to go out and find her night owls. We know from behind the scenes shots that Axe Woves is in this, so I think that that's going to be that linked character for her that she's going to go find next episode, and then she's going to bring them back. Oh, you guys are children of the Watch. We're Death Watch. Like, we're all the Watch together, and I think that they're going to go out and do whatever epic thing they're going to do.
I
But
think Grant hit it right on the money, because they even say, the armorer says, "Hey guys, this is the one that can unite the two. She's on
Right.
both sides. She's
walked
both
both
been
worlds,
redeemed,
yeah.
and she's
she's the
walked out of
Anakin
it."
Skywalker of the Mandalorians. She's here to bring
Yes.
balance to the
The
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
That's a perfect analogy, actually.
When they said that, she was like, "Oh, take off the," she's like, "Take out the helmet," and she was like, "What?" Like,
I love
are you
that.
sure?
hesitation.
I thought that was so funny because I thought she would have been like, "Oh, you fell for it. You're not a Mandalorian. Get out."
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, no, I was
Gotcha.
also like kind of waiting for the catch. Like,
I wanted the armor to take her helmet off. That's what I was waiting for.
yeah, I was sort of expecting it too. And
Like,
then
why
I was
not?
like, oh man, is everyone gonna take off their helmets? Like,
What was the chick's name? And I can't remember it. The chick that was like the right hand man of Gar Saxon. I can't think of
Oh,
her
the
name.
purple haired one.
Yeah, purple haired one.
Yeah.
Rook
Yeah, someone was saying, like, I saw a fan prediction that because she still has like the little spikes, that there's a chance that maybe that's who she is. Like when the
that'd be
Mandalorians
cool.
fall, she took a group of Death Watch and created the Watch, and that might be who she is. Obviously, like, that's a real niche character thing, but like part of me
That'd be
really
sick,
open
though.
to that.
That'd
That'd
be
be
sick.
super
Yeah.
sick.
If the,
I mean,
if
I
the
also think,
armor
like, it's-
worked
yeah.
with Maul, that would mean Lauren Mary Kim was Ahsoka fighting Maul, and was the armor, fighting the, that's
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
that's too full circle for me. I don't know about that one.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
yeah.
Yo, I know Hasbro wouldn't release, because Hasbro's kind of gone downhill. No offense, Hasbro.
Oh,
But like the pirate ship,
Oh.
the giant pirate ship, dude, I would buy one of those instantly. That
Yeah.
thing looks so. Do we know what kind of ship that is?
Oh, no.
Something
That
something
Corvette,
Corsair,
I
I
have no
think.
idea.
But like the tiger stripes on it, and it's like black and white, and it's got like red
Yeah,
on it.
that's
Like,
sick.
oh, dude, I would totally buy like a life size version of that. Like, I might have to 3D print one,
Mhm.
honestly.
I liked how the little pods with the gunners were actual people in each of the pods. It not only reminded me of Attack of the Clones for the bubblegum gunships.
Yeah.
Gunships?
Yeah.
Gunships. But it reminded me of Avengers Endgame when Thanos calls in his big ship,
Yeah.
and then the big cannons go, and all of them just start firing
Oh, yeah.
down like that.
Yeah.
Well,
I was-
I like. Oh, go ahead.
I was just quickly like Max, when you were like starting to say Hasbro, I was honestly more thinking of the new Paz Vizsla figure, which has like a head sculpt with obviously Jon Favreau. So I was more thinking like, all right, I mean, it's like almost confirmed that maybe, or I mean, it might also just be a fun thing. I mean, they've done like George Lucas Stormtrooper, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Sorry, Grant.
No, you're fine, man. You're totally fine. I just liked that it felt very, very much like a pirate ship with the cannons on the bottom weren't just like turbo lasers or anything. It looked like actual like round like projectile things coming out of it.
They
It
even
reminded-
shot like 50 cals too. They were like
Yeah.
like rotoscope. Like
Yeah.
Mm.
very much old school World War II ball turrets off the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Also, to the pirate ships, that one hell of a badass Mandalorian who was like on top of that one fighter, shooting it with 2 West Stars and
yeah.
like surfing it and then like jetpacking. Dude, that was
Siege
one
of
of those like
Mandalore.
that was like one
Cowabunga,
of-
dude.
that was one of the Mandalorians of Team 2, which, by the way, I love that like that entire like group of hunters that they took with them on the rescue mission, that they again were one team. They were Team
Oh,
2. Like those were all
Yeah.
the same, and those are also the ones with the Death Watch and like matching colors.
Yeah.
Like I loved that. I already love that group. Like it's like I think 3 guys and 1 female Mandalorian.
And you don't mess with that
And,
female Mandalorian, man.
Yeah,
She,
like
she'll
them alone,
wreck
the
you.
fact that they have like a matching group thing going on, I love that. Absolutely love that.
Just blast that one dude in the face. Just,
Oh,
just glance.
yeah.
Oh,
She just
Boom.
executes him.
she
And-
like zip like use that rope, like that tie
Yeah.
rope, and then
She's like,
yoink
"Get
him to
over
the ground
here."
and it just
Yeah.
executed him.
Fatality.
Oh yeah, that one guy. Yeah, right. Like he fast ropes him, like pulls him, and then
Yeah.
like hits him, and then quick draws another one. Like
Yeah.
And the monkey, the
so
quacky
bad.
monkey lizard snitched on
Yes!
the hiding pirate.
I loved that. I love their reaction, right? Like the very tactical, like, hey, I think that there's an ambush up there, and
Yeah,
they get like
it's an
super like ready for it and everything.
yeah,
But talking about that, cool, they get ambushed in that courtyard, and then the armorer comes in out of nowhere and just goes hard with the hammers, right? Like,
that hammer throw looked painful.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Could
Well,
you-
imagine because
okay,
those things
I-
are Beskar, right? Like her hammers are Beskar.
Yeah.
I
Very
can't even
right.
imagine.
I said this during the watch party, like when it ended. Could you imagine being that Trandoshan on that gun, getting hit with the hammer, uppercutted so hard that you fall off the balcony without even touching the railing? Hardly.
Yeah.
Like, doosh,
And she's got some strength too,
like a
dude.
video game, dude.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I will
Hey, that's
say,
some redemption from seeing her charge out that big crocodile and do
I'm
that.
kind of want to see her charge at the big crocodile now. I'm like, man, is she gonna like one punch man this freaking crocodile into outer space or something?
Oh,
Um,
my
No Shindu. Nani? Yeah, a little weeb came out a little bit. A little anime weeb.
Sorry, your weeb is showing.
But they're like, oh, we're pinned down. I'm like, you're pinned down. They're like, oh yeah, we're pinned down forward and backward. I'm like, you realize there's roofs and you guys have jetpacks, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Don't
my
get me started
guys.
on the tactics of
I'm
this.
like,
Like,
why don't you
at all.
use some
Why
jetpack
don't you use
action?
a
Dude.
magical flying pack of yours?
And then you see
gas
Paz
prices
come
are very
down.
high right now, so they couldn't use it as much as they wanted.
100%,
Yeah.
Barb. 100%.
And also, I mean, it's not the first time. I mean, we've seen also times when like either Django or Boba could have used their jetpacks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like when they're
things would be a
shielded.
bit too easy if you can just jetpack all the time. So it's
No,
I
for
do
sure.
think, well, they explained that earlier in this season, right? Like, they show them flying after the Shriekawk, and they all run out of fuel. Like, so they're like
Yeah.
they might be trying to conserve their fuel, so it's not like constant.
True.
I think that's just my Battlefront 2 brain, honestly,
Yeah.
saying like use your jetpack because like when you go to Mos Eisley and you're doing like the heroes versus villains thing,
You just
Like,
use
if you-
Hunter Instincts.
you just
Idiot.
like
Yeah,
You get
exactly.
the
Just keep
Django.
flying.
and you just hop from each building in Mos Eisley, and like Navarro's kind of built like that too, where you could just like hop from each building. And I don't know about you guys, but I wrecked when I hopped from each building. Like nobody could touch me unless you were
Yeah.
Isla Sakura, because Isla Sakura had the push pull. She's goated, but that's another topic for another time. But no, we finally get to see the Mando drop though too, going back
I've been
before the
waiting
fight a
for
little
that.
bit. Like they're
Oh
just
my
like, "You
God.
guys ready?" And they're all like, "Huh."
Yeah.
And just drop out.
Live,
of
die,
the-
repeat. Get deployed.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude. I was like, that
I
is
love
freaking
that.
epic. And then she has to
I hope they
swing
do it
back
again.
around. Yeah, yeah.
I need to see it again.
And it reminded me of the Phantom Menace when the ship's blowing up from the inside, and they're like, "What's going on? What's happening?" Because you got Din like swooping in like a dolphin, like swimming through the air, taking out each of the gunners.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know what's going on. They're like, "Why are we losing our guns?" And that like Ugnaught, like
Yeah.
head captain, like guy that was like the
Mr.
assistant.
Shmee.
He's like, "Oh,
Yes, right.
Yeah, the Ugnaught
Shmee!"
hook.
Yeah.
One thing man, if anything, this proves, because I say this all the time, we need a TV show that's Game of Thrones style that is the Mandalorian Wars, dude. The Mandalorian versus the Jedi, and like I think there's like in-faction fighting. I don't know a crap ton about that time period, but I know like
Oh, yeah.
the Mandalorians, the Jedi fought, and then there was infighting between. I think that's why like some of the Mandos lost, because they were fighting within. They're like Sith almost. They're
Yeah.
fighting within the ranks, but I'm like,
Right.
that would be so
I mean-
cool to see like
Wait,
more
Right.
of this
Grant-
and like a regular show.
When
JT's
Grant
dying
said
over here.
When Grant should speak, I'm sorry. It just immediately clicked in my head. I hate Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
I was like,
But
Yeah. Well,
But
that
yeah,
would
and
be
then
cool.
man, The armor kind of like. Do you guys think that she's doing something tricky, or do you guys really think that she believes that Bo can unite everybody?
She's 100% hiding something, no doubt, but I do think she's
Yeah.
being a little bit honest with Bo.
The
'Cause-
thing that weirds me out is like I feel like earlier she was when Bo was like, I've seen a mythosaur. She's like, okay, yeah, sure you have. Creatures of legend. And now overnight she's like, yeah, you definitely saw
Yeah.
one.
Let's
for
ride
sure,
with
you're
that.
the one to lead our people. Like, okay, odd change of heart there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, she's definitely hiding something, but I do also feel, like JT said, that she's truthful, at least in the instance that she wants to reunite the Mandalorians, like all Mandalorians. I do think she's being truthful in that.
Do you think that
And,
she's knowingly hiding something?
Yeah, no, I do think so.
She's not doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. I mean, she's very hard to read.
My theory was that she was an outcast, and now that the Mandalorian culture has kind of crumbled, she was able to hold on to it. So now everyone's focusing on her being the theoretical leader until one shows his face, right? The Mandalorian, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, right? So
Din kind of took a back seat in this episode. Though. I mean, yes, he did do some cool stuff in like the pilot, but this really wasn't his episode. Like, I feel like everybody else kind of did the cool stuff, and they cut to him doing some cool stuff in the ship, but like, there's no scenes of him beating up any of the pirates or anything like that outside of the ship. I'm talking about like, but we get like Bo-Katan. Well, no, she was in her ship too. I guess she didn't really do anything super crazy, but like the armor and the other Mandalorians, and I thought this is funny. This is slowly becoming, I feel like, not Din's show anymore. It's just
Well, it's becoming the
other.
Mandalorians show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
it's no
That shot
longer
of the
Mandalorian.
gauntlet unleashing like all the rockets, like when they had to take it out last second, that was also like, that's some firepower right there.
Yeah,
Heck
I
yeah.
like that a lot.
Well, I think that's all the notes that I have. Unless you guys have anything else, I always write down notes before the show, but I think
Yeah.
I ran through all my stuff. Unless you guys have more to say.
Mainly
I
for
think
me, it
all-
was just like I just noticed how goofy the Seaweed Man pirate captain was with his
Oh,
animatronics.
brag.
When he was talking in the hologram, his mouth literally moved like this, like up and down, like there was no like cheek movement or anything to make it
Yeah.
like an
Oh,
actual mouth.
it was like such a puppet.
What you doing in my
Whoa.
waters, boy?
I was
told you
reading
this is my
something. I was reading something about Gorian Shard, and someone saying that he might be one of the leading bad guys in Skeleton Crew.
Oh,
Because
that'd be cool.
yeah, it's supposed to be more of a piratey themed thing. It's supposed to be very 80s themed, and I was
cool
reading
with that.
something about it. I don't know. Fingers crossed. I think that they hyped him up to be way too big of a named character to not have something more come of that. Like he felt very anticlimactic.
When does like Skeleton Crew play timeline wise again?
I think Skeleton Crew is supposed to be before this.
Well, obviously because
Yeah, I
he's
think it's
dead.
like
Or
yeah,
is he?
exactly.
Nobody's ever really gone.
Or is he?
Yeah.
Rex, say that thing you just said not too long ago about the characters being alive all the time. No one is really.
No, gosh, Rex, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, Rex.
There's like poetry.
But yeah, I think that's a good wrap. We're at about 40 minutes. That's a good episode.
Oh,
We
I
talked
just
longer
want
than
to
the
add
actual
one thing.
episode.
I want to add one thing that it is not blood related, but it bothers me that they decided to just crash a full ship into a volcanic area, because if you do that, you were risking to simply have Navarro City wiped out because of any sort of explosion caused by the volcano that they're living in. Like,
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
They basically make them like crash, and then he just. I like also too. I want to say I will add that now Rex has got me thinking stuff like that. I like how that one pirate dude was just like, "Hey, it's been nice knowing you, man. Bye."
Yeah.
He just like
Yes.
left. But yeah, no, the
Very
volcano thing, man. That's that is something that
Listen,
could
man,
definitely
logic
feel like-
is not badass.
just melts Navarro. Be like, well, can't live here now.
The lava wouldn't do any
Lava's
damage.
just flooding the
IG-11
city,
still
and like
alive.
Steve Karga from the distance, like, well, shit.
Yeah. I think it's
Well-
one of those lesser of two evil things. Like either that ship can kill all of us, or we have a chance of blowing up our entire town. Like, I don't know which one to take there.
Well, thank you guys for watching and hanging out with us in this roundtable. We're going to be doing the watch party on Wednesday at 12, I believe. We're going to be playing some video games and stuff like that. And then obviously next Saturday we'll be doing. Some of you guys won't be here because some of you guys will be at Celebration, but we'll be doing the roundtable for episode 6. So thank you guys for watching. And as always, may the force be with you.